the real numbers or the real number system is divided into two groups. First one is rational and the second one is irrational. Now the rational number group, there are different sections in it. Now if you understand that in a way, let's think about the natural numbers. So that's the first group that we can think about. Let's say the counting numbers 1 2 3 4 and all. So imagine this one as the first plate we have. Okay, so or else let's name it as let's say Fort Worth City, something like that. It will make a good connection later on. Now the next group that we are thinking about is the whole number group. Okay, so the whole number group. Now whatever in the natural group plus 0, that's the whole numbers that we are thinking about. Think about this one as Texas, because anything that's part of Fort Worth is part of Texas, or this big plate holds the smaller plate of natural numbers, or 1 2 3 4, they are natural numbers plus 0. When 0 is being added into that group, that becomes the whole group family. For example, positive 2 or positive 3 are also whole numbers, but 0 is not a natural number. Now the third group that we can think about is here. They are called integers. Now there is a big confusion among students that integers means -5, -2. It's true, yes, they are integers, but whatever we discussed before, like 0 1 2 3 4 positive numbers, 500 600 1000, they are also integers. So integer group is actually positive whole numbers, 0, and the negative kind of whole numbers. Okay, so natural whole integer, but then let's name it as US, then you will get the idea. Whatever is part of Texas, whatever is part of Fort Worth is naturally part of US. Therefore all the natural numbers are integers, all the whole numbers are integers. But if you take a number like -2, that's not a whole number, that's not a natural number, or the third plate holds the other two plates. Okay, now the last one in this group is the rational numbers. Okay, so we name it as rational over here. Now the let's say -1/4 or 1/2, 7.2, or let's say repeating decimals also. Let's think about 0.33 repeating, or let's say just a decimal, if it's ending on 3.14, it's a rational number. So but there is another thing that you name it as, let's say, the planet Earth. Now when you think about planet Earth, US, Texas, Fort Worth, everything is part of it, or else we have the bigger plate here, all the other plates or the subsections of integers, whole numbers, natural numbers comes in that. Now therefore everything in this group are called rational numbers. That's why the real number system is divided into rational numbers and irrational numbers. So think about this connection: Earth, US, Texas, Fort Worth. What about irrational numbers? Irrational numbers is a different group itself. So think about, they do not have anything in common. Think about a different planet like Mars. So when you think about that, that's actually entirely a different group, right? But irrational numbers, there is that pi value. It's not just 3.14, but it's 3.1415 and continuous and continuous. There is another number called Euler's number, that's actually 2 point something it goes on. It's a mixed number, it's not a repeating decimal. It's not because of that. If you put it on calculator, you will see that pi value has several continuing numbers after the decimal point. They are mixed. Now there is another thing, sometimes students are not aware. For example, square root of 2 is irrational, square root of 3 is irrational, but square root of 4 that has a problem. Square root of 4 is a perfect square. So when you answer that, you get the answer as 2. 2 is naturally here. So square root of 4, you could write it over there because that's a natural number because the value is 2. But if you put the other numbers on the calculator, you will see that it's a decimal number, as well as it repeats, not a continuous repetition but a mixed number repeating. Okay, square root of 5 is irrational, square root of 6 is irrational, square root of 7 is irrational, square root of 8 is irrational. But what happened to square root of 9? It's not irrational because its value is 3. So square root of 9 should go here because it's a perfect square. For example, square root of 24 is irrational, but 25 is actually natural number, so its value is 5. So there are several irrational numbers, especially the square roots that do not give you a perfect square. So irrational, the word meaning you cannot write that number as the ratio of two numbers. Sometimes students are misunderstood with the 1/3. 1/3 is 0.3333, but that's okay. You have written it as the ratio of two numbers, but that's not the case with a number like one of the square roots like 1.12834 something like that. So this is an irrational number. On the calculator, if you try it, you will get it. So this is the real number system. Natural, the smallest group, think about Fort Worth City. Whole, Texas. So everything that's part of Fort Worth is part of Texas. So all the natural numbers are whole numbers. All the natural numbers and whole numbers are integers. All the natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are rational numbers. Okay, so the big family of rational numbers includes integers, whole numbers and natural numbers. Not only the name but also the numbers. Okay, for example, if you take a number like 1, positive 1, it's natural, yes. It's whole, yes. It's integer, yes. It's rational, yes. But if you take a number like 1/2 half, it's not an integer, it's not a whole number, it's not a natural number. Half is only a rational number. Irrational is entirely a different group. Okay.